So I'm gonna have to talk fast because my battery's almost dead. This is a story of how I got ovarian cancer, or not how I got it, but how I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Let's start out with, I was a teacher at a school, kindergarten school here in Fort Worth, Texas. I had 10 children with Down syndrome, 2 typically developing children. So a little bit of sweat throughout the day, not a big deal, but I was dripping sweat all day long. I would end the day and kind of look around and be like, okay, this teacher looks like a hobo. Everybody else looking just fine. I was very upset with that. I really did not understand what I was doing that was any different from anybody else. And so I was at the time suffering with depression, and so I called my psychiatrist and I said, okay, I know we're trying to change over to a new antidepressant. Is that what is causing my sweating? And he goes, it's a possibility, so we'll just go with that. You have about 2 months until you're completely switched over to the new one, so just don't worry about it, just go about your day. And I was like, great, you're not the one that is a dripping, sopping mess, but whatever. So I went on about my life. The next week I had just incredible nausea. I was nauseated all the time. I only wanted to eat Greek yogurt because it was the one thing that seemed to kind of soothe my stomach even a little bit. And so I called my doctor again. I said, I am so nauseated. What is the deal? He said, well, you are changing medications. It can cause some nausea. So, just a little bit longer. Just hold on. You'll be able to put this all behind you. And so I said, okay. So, within the next few days, it just kept getting progressively worse and progressively worse. And then it went into full-blown vomiting and diarrhea. I missed a week of work. My daughter had to stay with my aunt. It was terrible. I mean, it was the worst 7 days of my life because I hate throwing up. When I throw up, I cry. So I called my psychiatrist and my general practitioner, and I got them together. My general practitioner is a nurse practitioner, and she's fabulous. She really looks at everything. She leaves no stone unturned, and so she was very concerned about my vomiting and my sweating, and she was trying to find something that would put them all together, and there really wasn't anything. So I had my birthday. I went back to work on a Tuesday, and I'm sitting in the middle of PE in the gym trying to help a child up and down over a set of stairs, and I'm just bawling my eyes out because I have this horrific pain all through my right side, and I'm feeling very bloated. I just feel terrible. So one of my teacher's assistants comes in and she's like, look, you need to go to the doctor. You look terrible. I'm like, thanks. So I went to the office and I told my principal, which I probably shouldn't have told her, but so I have an appointment today. I know that we have a staff meeting, but I just feel terrible. So I went to my general practitioner again, and she scheduled a pelvic ultrasound and a transvaginal ultrasound. But before all that happened, I just said, if I'm nuts, tell me I'm nuts. I can totally deal with being crazy. I have a great psychiatrist. He can get me medicated. But she said, no, you can't just make up these body pains. So that next week on a Thursday, or no, I had the appointment on a Tuesday. On a Thursday, I went and I had my transvaginal ultrasound and my pelvic ultrasound. The technician told me, she said, make an appointment after lunch today with your doctor. We will have the results. And so looking back on that, I'm thinking maybe she saw something, but she wasn't allowed to tell me. So I go back. I made an appointment at 2 o'clock. I went in. I'm laying on the little bed they have in their offices with the little crinkly paper because I couldn't sit up. And so my nurse practitioner comes in. She puts her hand on my leg and she says, they think that they see some ascites in there. And I was like, I have no idea what that is. She says, and they're thinking that it might be ovarian cancer. And I was like, what? No. I'm generally healthy. I don't have anything wrong with me. I have a little bit of depression. Who doesn't have that? So she said, well, we're going to send you to the emergency room. They're going to do a CAT scan there because that would be a little bit more definitive. So when I went to the emergency room, I had my CAT scan. The emergency room doctor comes in and she says, we kind of concur with your general practitioner. We're thinking that it's probably ovarian cancer. So at that point, I'm just sobbing. I don't even know what to do. And I look at her and I say, is there any way that it could be something else? Could it be, you know, a cyst causing me to have all this fluid? And she looks me straight in my face. She's not an oncologist. She's not any kind of doctor like that. And she just goes, no. And she leaves the room. And I was like, wow, your bedside manner is awesome. So we leave. I call the next day and I schedule an appointment on Tuesday with a gynecologic oncologist. I go in and see her on Tuesday. She says that, you know, there's every chance that the ER doctor was wrong. That it could be a cyst, that based on my age and the fact that I have no family history of ovarian cancer, and I only had one aunt, not an aunt, my grandmother on my dad's side had breast cancer and passed away because of it. But other than that, I have no family history of cancer even. So, you know, we get surgery scheduled for, I want to say, the following day. And she asks if I want to be admitted to the hospital to kind of help manage my pain. I said, absolutely. So they put me in the hospital and they gave me a gallon of stuff to drink. I couldn't drink it. I threw up everywhere. I threw up vile, nasty neon green stuff, which I've now been told is bile, but it was horrible. And so my mom, my dad, and the nurse all had to apologize because I tried to tell them that I was awful and I couldn't drink anymore. So they got in touch with my doctor. I drank something smaller. I cleared my system all out, got ready for surgery. They did an exploratory laparoscopy. Yeah. And so I had a shiny new incision from below my breastbone right to my pelvic bone. And they opened me up and pulled out 6.5 liters of fluid, which, if you want to think about it in general terms, it's 3.5, 2 liters of Coke. So I had a lot of stuff in my abdomen. And they had to take out my appendix. They took out part of my colon. They did a radical hysterectomy based on everything that she found and the fact that I had a 10-centimeter tumor on my omentum. It was stage 3C ovarian cancer. I did have fluid around my lungs, but that hadn't been pulled out yet. So because they didn't want to enlarge the incision any further. So she closed me up. I was in ICU. I woke up and I knew things were bad. I was in the hospital about 10 days. I came home. I was home for about 2 days, and I went back and I had a thoracentesis, which is where they pull fluid out from around your lungs. And they pulled out 1 liter of fluid. They sent it away, and it also had cancerous cells in it. So I was then elevated from 3C to stage 4 ovarian cancer. So now kind of what I'm doing, the purpose of these videos is to find other people that are like me, either other stage 4 fighters. Actually, really, I don't care what stage you are. If you're battling ovarian cancer and you have questions, probably everything that ever could happen has happened to me, so you can ask me. I just wanted to kind of put out there how I found out I had cancer, because if I had ignored any one of those symptoms, let's just say, you know, they used your CA-125 to kind of gauge how bad everything is before they even opened me up. They knew, because a regular CA-125 is 35 and mine was 18,800. So they, at the office where I go, they always call me the CA-125 high score holder, which I'm super excited about. But that's, you know, just if you feel like there's something wrong in your body, get to your doctor. Ask for a transvaginal ultrasound. They will not find any stage of ovarian cancer in your regular women's checkup, because a pap smear won't find it. So you're gonna have to kind of be your own advocate about stuff like that. Like I said, I went from being completely healthy, feeling fabulous, doing stuff in my classroom, to just being where I couldn't even stand up. I hurt so bad in the period of 2 weeks. So the cancer had been growing way longer than that, but that's when it got bad enough that I just couldn't do anything anymore. So little symptoms, pay attention to them, and get yourself to the doctor. Thanks. Y'all have a great rest of your day, evening, night, depending on when you're watching this. I love you all. Mwah.